Not even gonna lie, I hope this is the last take, but I've done like 5 takes already on this deck profile, and it's already getting pretty annoying. But what's up, guys? It's the Witch Doctor. I haven't brought a TCG video up onto the channel for about maybe 2-3 days, and it might not seem that long, but for me it does. But anyways, we got a fairy deck. Yeah, that's right. The darkness using fairies. Oh yay. Anyways, main starter deck is Furfrou. Now, Furfrou, very interesting basic Pokemon that I think is very overlooked. I didn't actually look at this card when I was looking through the set online until I actually pulled the card in real life, and it was a holo, so it stood out, of course. And then when I looked at it more, I saw that it had potential. It had potential to be a very, very good Pokemon. So, with 90 HP, that automatically kind of just like, makes you like not want to look at it, because 90 HP on like a Pokemon that doesn't evolve for a basic isn't, it's pretty bad. I don't like it. So, what can we do to make Furfrou better with that? Now, right off the bat, its ability already makes it better, because Fur Coat reduces any Pokemon attack by 20 damage. So, any attack that is done to Furfrou is reduced by 20 damage. So right off the back, that reduces, for example, Darkrai. Darkrai's Night Spear does 90 damage base, so you can actually live one Night Spear. Granted that they don't have a Muscle Band or a Dark Claw, but even if they do, we have a very nice Pokemon tool called Hard Charm. Hard Charm is basically like Fur Coat, but you can attach it to any Pokemon that you want. So I can give this to any Pokemon onto my bench or my active spot, and all the attacks done to them are reduced by 20 damage. Now combine this with Furfrou, all of our attacks will be reduced by 40. You see, that's very, very helpful, because with 90 HP, that isn't all that great. So having a reduction of 40 damage off of any attack, very helpful. Now, if we let off with this against a Team Plasma deck, basically most Team Plasma decks only use one energy on their active Pokemon, which the ideal active starting Pokemon for Team Plasma decks is Thundurus EX, and it only needs one energy to attack right off the back, so it's actually very scary. But the thing is, Furfrou has a very cool attack called Energy Cutoff. Now, the attack itself isn't actually all that bad. For 80 damage for 3 colorless energies, flip a coin. If heads, discard an energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. Now, if I stumble across some of my words and make them sound weird, I'm sorry. Can't help it. But Furfrou's Energy Cutoff is actually very good, because we have a potential chance of discarding that energy attached to Thundurus EX. Now, if you guys don't know, Team Plasma decks usually run special energies. That means these are energies that can't really be added back to the deck. It is very hard to put these cards back on the deck, but I'm sure there's cards that allow you to attach them onto your bench Pokemon from the discard pile. But like I said, I don't really run Team Plasma decks because they're not my thing. I don't really like them all that much. But yeah, Furfrou, very nice, and its weakness is fighting. We don't run into too many fighting Pokemon now, unless you're fighting my Archeops deck. No, but it has no resistance because it's normal. It would have been nice to, you see, the thing about TCG that kind of gets a little frustrating is that a lot of Pokemon, though they are different types, are grouped into the same energy color. For example, you have Psychic, Poison, and Ghost. All share the same energy. So they all share the Psychic energy, which is very frustrating, because if we had different types, that would actually change the game a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Adding Fairy kind of changes the game in TCG. Okay, in TCG it didn't change all that much, because there's not that many things weak to Fairy now. But it would change some of the things, adding like Ghost, and we had Dragon. We just added Dragon not too long ago, then we added Fairy. So then, yeah, it's crazy. I know what you're thinking. Dragon's been around for a long time, and we just finally got it like last year. So yeah, that's that. Its retreat is 1, which is actually very good because it only takes 1 energy to retreat it. It's not bad. Furfrou, very underlooked card, main star of the deck. Now, how are we going to power up Furfrou, you may ask? Xerneas. Now, Xerneas for a basic Pokemon with 130 HP, that's actually very good. Most of these, I noticed that a lot of these cards in X and Y are powerful. They're a lot stronger than the last set, and very surprised. Some of these Pokemon can do crazy things, and it's kind of scary. Very scary. But our main attack is Geomancy. It's what we're going to do to power up things. Now, Xerneas will be our ideal lead Pokemon because it will be the one that will basically power up the energy for most of our Pokemon on the bench. Now, Geomancy allows us to take 2 fairy energies from our deck and attach it to 2 different Pokemon on our bench and then shuffle our deck afterwards. Now, yes, it does lose out on being able to attach both energy onto one Pokemon, which will accelerate the Pokemon a lot faster. Now, this isn't actually a bad thing because it allows it to accelerate 2 Pokemon at once. Though, granted, we could have done that with Victini's Turbo Energized, but at the same time, Victini EX should only be used in decks that are meant to go fast. This deck isn't all that fast, it's very mediocre, and again, Victini only has 110 HP for an EX Pokemon, which is horrible because a lot of EX Pokemon normally have at least 170 HP at the minimum. So, right off the back, that's really bad. And it could easily be knocked out by Darkrai's Night Spear if they have a Dark Claw or a Muscle Band. So, that's already 2 prizes down the drain with Victini being knocked out. But with Xerneas, it has a resistance to Dark. So that means the Night Spear will not be killing us even with the Dark Claw or Muscle Band. So regardless, Xerneas is actually very good. Now, if we want to attack with Xerneas, it is actually not that bad at all. Rainbow Spear does 100 damage, but we have to discard energy attached to Xerneas, which is probably the biggest downside to it, but for only 3 energy, it's not bad. I really wish, though, but then again, this would have probably made the card a lot more easy to attack. If it was just 1 Fairy Energy and 2 colorless energies to use for Xerneas, that's just me, but then I think that would make the card a lot more usable in that sense, because, you know, you can easily just slap on a DCE. If you don't know what DCE means, the double colorless energy, and that provides 2 energies instead of 1, but it has to be colorless, like this right here. That's a colorless energy, but it's like normal, I guess. So then, for 2 fairy and 1 colorless, you do Rainbow Spear. Not that bad. It's weak to steel. We don't really see that many steel Pokemon out now. We really don't. But they are hinting that steel Pokemon are about to get a lot more support. I can feel it. The darkness knows what's coming, and I sense it in the horizon, boy. And Xerneas Retreat is too, so yeah. Next Pokemon in the deck, very interesting one, is Aromatisse. Now, again, 90 HP is I don't like it, but it's a stage 1, so that's what I expect from a stage 1, honestly. So I can't put my hopes up that high. But the main thing we're using Aromatisse for is Fairy Transfer. Now, as often as you like during your turn before you attack, you may move a Fairy Energy and attach it to one of your Pokemon anywhere on your bench. Anywhere, it could be your bench, it could be your active. You can move all the Fairy Energy on the bench to any Pokemon you want. To the active, to anyone on the bench as well. It's an amazing ability. It allows us to basically save our energy in case something's about to be knocked out and we don't feel like retreating out into something. So basically, we don't really run that many EXs in this deck in the first place, so it's not so bad losing out on 1 prize. So that is probably the biggest advantage towards decks like this, where they don't run that many EX Pokemon. So yeah, that's actually very good. So Fairy Wind, we will not be using this. I hope we won't be using this, but if shit hits the fan, we might just have to. It's weak to steel and resistance to dark, so it's not bad. Retreat cost of 2. I don't like that. This fat ass fairy should not weigh that much. I mean, it just looks fat, but I don't think it is fat. I mean, it'd be light. I mean, weighs 34 pounds, so fuck. You should be free. Free retreat. We don't really look at the basics. Spritzy. I always thought it was going to be a flamingo, but disappointment sets in very fast. Now, we do also run a Bouffalon, and Bouffalon is actually a very helpful Pokemon too, because it has practically the same ability as Furfrou, but with 100 HP. Very nice. So we can combine this with Hard Charm again, and we're reducing 40 damage once again. So Booffer, very good ability, and its attack is also very good too. This is more of our EX check Pokemon, so Gold Breaker does 60 damage, and if the defending Pokemon is an EX, it does 60 more damage, so we can do a total of 120 straight out the back, which is very good. And again, for 3 colorless energies, it's actually really good because, like I said, we run double colorless energies in this deck, and it'll be very easy to power up. Very fast attacking Pokemon. So Bouffalon earned your spot in this deck. So as you can see, I haven't been saying the number of how many Pokemon we have. We have 4 Furfrou, 3 Xerneas, 2 Bouffalons, 2 Aromateas, even though I gotta get one with the same rarity, and 2 Spritzies. Now let's get into our EX Pokemon of the deck. Mewtwo. Let's talk about Mewtwo. I have like this card in every single one of my decks because X-Ball is just that damn good. Honestly, it wasn't supposed to be Mewtwo. It actually wasn't. I was supposed to get a Xerneas EX, but the trade never went through, so I wanted to get this video out as soon as possible. I will let you know once I get a Xerneas EX because that is what I really need in the deck. And X-Ball is actually a very good attack, so good replacement until the meantime, till we get a Xerneas EX. So yeah, as we all know, Mewtwo, probably one of the best EX Pokemon out there, even though Yveltal is now probably the best EX Pokemon out there now. Mewtwo's X-Ball does 20 damage times the amount of energy attached to this Pokemon and the defending Pokemon. X-Ball has a chance of doing a tremendous amount of damage. You don't know. He's holding a sphere full of darkness in his hand, boy, and he's ready to unleash it upon the world. Mewtwo EX. Fucking incredible. Now, in case we have Yveltal matchups, Emolga EX. Now, this is an EX I really did not think I would use, but it's strictly for the purpose of facing Yveltal. And honestly, there is no other purpose for it other than that. I mean, it could be good against Blastoise decks because they are weak to electric, I think, if I remember. Sometimes they're weak to grass, sometimes they're weak to electric. Very confusing sometimes, but regardless, this was meant for Yveltal. Now, Electron Crush does 60 damage, and you may discard energy attached to this Pokemon. If you do, this attack does 30 more damage. Now, doing 90 times 2, which is 180, automatically knocks out Yveltal right there and then. Now, I don't actually run any electric energy in the deck, so we can't use the first attack. But we do have Prism and Rainbow Energy, so like I said, this is a situational card. This is only for matchups against Yveltal. Now you're wondering why I don't run Raichu, because I don't feel like adding another stage line in the deck. So this is real nice. Plus Emolga has to retreat to kind of balance it out of having this low HP, which I hate for EX Pokemon having 110. Very annoying. But yeah, I fucking hate it. So that wraps up all the Pokemon. So we run 1 Mewtwo and 1 Emolga. Now our 1 A-Spec of the deck is Gold Potion, because Gold Potion allows us to heal 90 damage off of our active Pokemon. So with Furfrou, if he's really hurt and we need to recover it off, bam, Gold Potion, instantly heal 90, we're back at full. So let's go through the supporters really quick, because we don't have that many in our deck, even though I should put more, but I think this is a fair number. 3 Colress. Very nice. Allows us to shuffle our hand back into our deck and draw for the amount of equal number of bench Pokemon on the field, both yours and your opponent. So we could have potential of drawing 10 cards off of Colress. It's not bad, right? I run one Iris because I feel the deck does need a little bit of help in dealing out damage. So if we're down on prizes and we need to do more damage, Iris is the way to go because we do 10 more damage for each prize our opponent has taken. So we can have a potential of doing 50 extra damage. Not bad. 3N, I don't feel like running 4. I just don't see why I should. I mean, it's a good card, yes, but 3 is a nice number for me. I've always noticed that I've never done all that good with 4. So 3, really nice number. N allows us to shuffle our hand back into our deck and draw, so we have the same amount of prizes we have left. So if we have 6 prizes, we draw 6. But N also works for our opponent. So at the same time, this could benefit our opponent and hurt our opponent at the same time. So if they've taken 2 prizes and you still only have your full 6, they only draw 4 and you draw 6. Very good supporter. 4 Juniper, very standard card in almost any deck. I mean, every deck should have Juniper. Discard your entire hand and you draw 7 new cards. Not bad. And you could even use Juniper if you have no cards in your hand. So brand new 7 cards with no strings attached. 3 Skyla because it allows us to search for a trainer card, reveal it, and put it into our hand. Very good supporter. 3 is fine. I don't need 4. 3 is perfectly fine. I think that wraps it up for our supporters. It sure does. Now let's get into our trainers and Pokemon tools. Now these are trainers, but like our items. That's what I meant to say. Sorry. 1 level ball because we can search out Aromatisse and Furfrou, but a lot of the Pokemon in the deck actually don't have 90 HP. Only I think 8 of them do. So yeah, 1 level ball is fine. That's just if we really need Furfrou on the bench or trying to find an Aromatisse. Sorry, I burped. Nasty. 1 Professor's Letter because honestly, I wanted to use Energy Search because our main focus is to have most of the energy in our deck for Xerneas to use with the Geomancy. But at the same time, since I don't run that many energy, I feel as if I need to search them out and put it into our hand. But then again, it says Professor's Letter says search up to 2, so I can choose only 1 and leave the other one in the deck. So I guess that works. Red card, I've really grown an attachment to this card. This card is very useful. Basically, if your opponent choruses or ends into a whole brand new hand and they have a lot, red card comes in and basically shuffles their hand back into their deck and have to draw only 4 cards. I love it. It's fantastic. So 1's fine. Now, to heal more of our Pokemon off, we do have Super Potion. Super Potion is a new card that was added into this set, into the recent X and Y set, which is very good. Very good card. Heal 6 damage from one of your Pokemon, but you gotta discard energy attached to it. Now, it's only 1 energy. It's not like Max Potion where you gotta discard all energy attached to it, but Super Potion very nice. So I have 2. It's a fine number. Super Rod. I have a feeling that I will need this card a lot in this deck from when I was playtesting the deck a little bit. Super Rod did come in handy. So 1 wasn't enough, actually. Surprisingly, 1 wasn't enough. So 2 is our magic number for the deck. Very nice. In case we cannot get our energy back and all our Super Rods are gone, Superior Energy Retrieval allows us to discard 2 cards from our hand and put 4 basic energies into our hand from our discard pile. What more can you ask for? 2 Ultra Ball. Get with it, Witch Doctor. Get with it. Learn to read. So, Ultra Ball, discard 2 cards from our hand, search our deck for any Pokemon we want. Very nice. It in case we don't draw into the Pokemon we need, Ultra Ball is there to help us. Now for our stadiums, I run one I run 1 Espira City Gym because for each Pokemon in play, both yours and your opponent, sadly, that is a colorless type, which is this one, like Furfrou and Bouffalant. No. Okay, don't show this again. Don't tag this. Okay, like Furfrou and Bouffalant, they're colorless, which is basically normal for the game if you play the actual trading card and the like the DS games, sorry. So yeah, we get an additional 20 HP, so it's very helpful. So Furfrou and Bouffalant get 20 extra HP. That's why I only run one, because I don't have that many colorless Pokemon in the deck. So Bouffalant can go to 120 and Furfrou can go to 110. Very nice. Now the next stadium we run is Fairy Garden. This will be our main stadium because each Pokemon that has a Fairy Energy attached to it has a 0 retreat cost. That's fantastic. So Bouffalant normally having, I think, 2 actually, to be having to be retreated out, it's very bad. So with that, Furfrou will be free, everything will be free. We can switch freely in and out as much as we want. It's fantastic. Now, onto the tools, I run 2 Hard Charm. I already explained the card. You've been hearing about this card a lot in the video, which is Muscle Band. And Muscle Band, any Pokemon that has Muscle Band attached to it does 20 more damage. Now, this even goes for EX Pokemon, so just a devastating card. It does a lot. We have 1 Silver Bangle because we can attach this to our non-EX Pokemon, and it will do 30 more damage to an active EX Pokemon, which sometimes you just might need that little bit of oomph to do that much to knock it out and get an easy 2 prizes. Silver Bangle. And our last tool, which is Silver Mirror. Like I was saying a lot in the videos also as well, Team Plasma decks are still very relevant. Now, any Pokemon that is attached with this, excluding EX Pokemon, yeah, you heard that. I know you did. Now, anyone that's attached with this except for an EX Pokemon, Team Plasma Pokemon do no damage to this Pokemon at all. So if we had a Silver Mirror on Furfrou and we're facing a Team Plasma deck, they cannot do jack shit to Furfrou. Furfrou will be completely immune to any Team Plasma Pokemon, even their effects and abilities. Bam. Onto the energy, we run only 6 Fairy Energy, which is a good amount, 3 double colorless, 1 Prism, and 1 Rainbow. Like I said, the Prism and the Rainbow are basically mainly just for Emolga. Honestly, it really is. So, yeah, that's basically the deck, guys. That's the Fairy deck. This is a Furfrou Xerneas deck. I will have a video of this deck. It should be tomorrow. And as for today, after this, I'll probably do another part of my Let's Play. That's actually been pretty fun so far. I like it. I enjoy it. So yeah, guys, this is the Witch Doctor, and I'll see you all later. Doc.